Hey everybody, hopefully you should be able to hear me, and hopefully the actual game view should come up in a second. Had a little bit of trouble getting this one to actually be recognised by OBS for some reason, but fingers crossed you can see the intro now. This will also be one of my early grumps, but today we are going to be playing Hot Wheels Unleashed. A game that I sort of see as a bit of a modern successor to the Micro Machines games that I played a lot of as a kid. What I'm going to do is just knock the master volume down a little bit. Hopefully that will help. But yeah, so I played a lot of the Micro Machines games back as a kid. I love games where you have like small cars or small little action figures jumping around, running around in an environment, in a bigger environment. I think that's always really, really fun. And the Micro Machines games always used to do that really well. But there hasn't been much more recently that's done that. There's been a couple of shooters, but I've been kind of looking for a racer to take up that mantle. And I think maybe the Hot Wheels game is going to be just that. It's a game where you drive, obviously, Hot Wheels cars around a lot, and you drive them around different environments, and it really seems to nail that sense of being a small car in a big environment. Now, having said that, there's a couple of slight issues with this game that we'll get to when we start talking more in depth, but I think we should just get going with the race and see how this goes. So, the main game mode is all based on this little this little mat, and I think a lot of us, when we were younger, if we were lucky, would have had kind of a little road map like this on our floor, like a carpet to play on. And this is kind of your single player. You can see at the bottom here we also have the expansion areas, which we'll come to. We're going to work towards these and play these first, I think. But generally speaking, it's sort of as you'd expect from one of these types of games. You have a node, you complete the node, and it unlocks connecting nodes. But let's get going and show straight away. So, I have bought the Game of the Year edition. I don't think this game won any Game of the Year awards, and I really hate it when companies sell Game of the Year editions like that. However, this game got really lambasted when it first came out because while it has loot boxes in it, and the loot boxes you can't really buy with real money, you could buy ridiculous amounts of additional cars and stuff separately in a way that was it got really overwhelming. The only reason I'm playing it now is because the Game of the Year edition packaged like 95% of the content up into one purchase. So if you're interested in it, I'd wait till the next autumn sale and pick it up then. But this is why, although I've just started, you'll see I've got a ridiculous amount of cars, because these are all like random DLC cars and stuff. So you'll see some kind of monster trucks. There are also Batman cars, Street Fighter cars, I think, and also Ninja Mutant Hero Turtle cars as well, and Looney Tune cars in here somewhere too. Yeah, like a Daffy Duck. So normally you wouldn't start with quite such a ridiculous list of cars. You'd only start with 2 or 3 and unlock them through blind boxes, but there we go. Now, which one of these looks good? I'm just going to favourite this one. That looks like one I might want to use a bit later. And I don't know why you'd want a Cadillac by Gucci, but you know, it's here if that's your thing. Yes, and that car, which is ridiculously overpowered early in the game, so we're not going to race with that one, but we'll remember it's here if we have any time trials. So let's pick a car and let's get going. One thing I will say is I love how the cars look in this game. They've really got the look of like these die-cast metal cars down, even down to like the tyres, and you sometimes get like really sparkly, like the Aston, you get the sparkling glitter paint that goes on some of the fancier cars. So there's a lot of stuff in here that's really, really nicely done. Yes, here are my starter cars I got. I got a Fiat, the roller toaster, which we're never going to drive because it's ridiculous, and the winning Formula, which is a bit difficult to drive. So I'm going to try this one, which I unlocked in our tutorial race before I came on stream. But yeah, so you see there's a bunch of different environments with a few kind of classic ones, like a ridiculous basement that you probably couldn't afford to live in if you lived anywhere but in the middle of nowhere in America. It's got sort of, what would you call them, Mario Kart-esque starting rules as well. If you hit it as close to the 2 as possible, you get boosts. But in this game, it doesn't give you a boost to start so much as it just charges up your boost to start off with. And your boosts will generally refill automatically, or you refill them quicker by drifting. Bad. Oh, I did not deserve that. So it's definitely very arcadey because you're drifting everywhere, but it's got surprisingly un-arcadey physics in a lot of ways. Like you're not glued to the track or anything. You will fly off the track. Your cars can roll if you hit a wall or you try and take a corner too fast with a top-heavy car. So it's a nice mix. It's the sort of mix I like. And you can, as I'm adequately demonstrating, totally lose control of your drifts as well. I mean, I've got this on hard AI, and I might turn that down a little bit, because I don't think I'm good enough and or have good enough cars to win at hard AI at the moment. But we'll see after this race, I suppose. But this track is only set in one very small part of the basement area as well. And although there's a seemingly relatively small amount of environments, there's a lot of tracks in the environments, and the environments all have different sections, so it actually, in practice, feels like you've got a lot more variety than it might look by default. Well, I've completely messed that up, haven't I? So, on that note, I can't change the game options from in here, so we'll just try and do that better. There's also, as we'll maybe see as we go on, 2 different types of boosts, which I don't quite understand why, but there's these boosts I've got in the bottom corner, which is like the circles, and there you tap once and you use the entire kind of charge, or you have a kind of boost bar on some of the cars as well, which you hold down and you can use whenever. So I guess that one's technically slightly better because you don't have to have a full boost charge to be able to boost. Need to avoid the roadblocks. But with the amount you're earning boosts in this game, I don't know how much better it is yet. Oh, that was a good drift. That's how we're supposed to do the corners. And the cars do handle surprisingly differently in some cases. So you really have to get your eye in about when you need to turn in for doing drifts and things like that. But the only thing I've figured out so far is I hate cars that don't have very high handling stats in this game. Because so much of the game is drifting at ridiculous speeds around corners, the handling stat is so important. Stay out in the lead for this one more lap. Obviously this is a very early track, so it's not so crazy. We'll very quickly see tracks that are a lot more kind of Mario Kart 8, where you're going upside down, you're driving over and between things. But I really like how they've designed it so you can actually have tracks that aren't on the Hot Wheels track, so you can drive over bits of the environment. And in the track editor, it's relatively easy to do that as well, from what I've seen. Because yes, there is a full track editor in this, as well as livery editors. And if we went to customize the basement room, like we can do, we'll find you can actually change how it all looks as well, which is really cool. So yeah, and when you win, there's different sorts of victories you can get. The general pass victory, or the like you've got first place, which unlocks something slightly different, I think. Yeah, so we're not going to bother reading those. There's some unnecessary story about how you're saving this place from 9 evil bosses or something like that. But really, I don't really care. I just want to run around and race. We did just unlock a blind box. So we can go and do these, and I hate blind boxes. I think blind boxes just need to go away from gaming generally for a whole bunch of reasons. But that's the main way you unlock cars in this, and that's a decent car actually. That's interesting. You can see in the top right we have 2 currencies. We have gears and money. Money is what you use to buy new cars from the shop. There's like a rotating real-time shop, and gears I think are what you use to upgrade cars, but I've not quite figured that out yet. So we could sell it for money or dismantle it for gears. As it's a decent car, I'm not going to do either. But like you can see, you can buy blind boxes up here, or you can just buy specific cars in a limited shop. But there's only like 5 available at a time, and you have to wait 6 hours for it to rotate. So that's one we don't have to race, but we've unlocked a thing. So now, just gives us some money and some gears, which is nice. But now we could go to the Batman expansion. So this was like, in the season pass, there was like 3 expansions. There was Batman, there was Monster Trucks, and there was Looney Tunes. I've not done any of these tracks. So I'm thinking Looney Tunes might be fun. So let's go in that direction. Although now I'm thinking that might also have copyrightable soundtracks. So let's do the Monster Trucks one. Yeah, and I quite like that car, so we'll reuse that car. So the Monster Trucks expansion came with, yeah, the stop motion studio, which is cool. Ah, so this looks like a point-to-point track. So you get circuit tracks and also point-to-point tracks, and you can make both in the editor, which is really fun. These pink things are immediate boosts. Oh. Alright, so this is like an officey environment, I guess. Oh, these things are boost charges. Oh, charge your boost quicker. Obviously, we have loops and stuff like that in here as well. And the green ones are just like immediate boost when you're on them. Okay. I've not seen those boulder things before. They must have been new into this expansion as well. Oh, I think I just accidentally shunted somebody off. Oopsies. Fan pieces, which kind of can actually help you with the tighter corners, but obviously can also be a problem. Oh goodness, where are we going? Oh no, that's distressing. Where's the track? Oh, it's over here. Okay. Yeah, generally speaking, most of the environments are designed so there's bits you can drive through and on. I guess because this is a stop motion studio. Where on earth is the track supposed to go? Because this is a stop motion studio, I guess it's got lots of kind of smaller sized areas. Oh no. I'm not super keen on this track design though, because there's a lot of bits where it's not super obvious where you're supposed to go. So I think we'll have to retry this one, as I have completely scuppered myself here. Yes, this is magnet track, so I think you might be able to fall off this, but it takes a lot to fall off it. while you're in the air. I've not seen you do that before. So these are obviously expecting you to have done a bit more, be a bit better at the game generally. But when you're in the air, you can actually have a lot of air control. You can also rotate your car, pitch and yaw and stuff like that too. Oh. Okay, into the air vents, nice. A classic small car thing. Okay. I'm not sure why I was reset there. I must have missed a checkpoint. Yeah, I really don't like this track. It's very unclear where you're supposed to go and things. This is lower quality than the other tracks I've played. So yes, we'll try a couple in here. If they're all low quality, then we might just go back to the normal tracks. So they definitely felt a bit higher quality than this one. Oh, I'm really not timing my drifts right around those corners at the moment. Okay, and then we boost through, and hopefully avoid that. That's better. Oh yes, generally speaking, the different colours tracks, they don't have any effect on your car. It's just there are certain types of track that do. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's just as better than it could have been, I suppose. Yee. Okay, and let's try and figure out where we're going. We're going through this way. That was better. There is normally cones to help you. There's obviously the mini-map, but you really can't see the mini-map when you're racing. Oh, I see, that was a really tight corner there, that's why I missed it completely. Hey Joe! So I'm doing very badly at this race, so I'm trying to concentrate this time through. I made the mistake of going to the expansion content when I've not played much of the game, and this track is much harder. Stuff like that where you have to... Oh, edge. Give me the boost, give me the boost. Okay, let's try not to get randomly reset this time. Okay, definitely hit that checkpoint, that's good. Oh, there's obviously a volcano-y bit. Oh, nuts. Yeah, they really like those tight corners when you get into those bits. I definitely am going to turn the difficulty down a bit because I turned it up and I regret everything. Okay, there's some boost. This looks like the end stretch now. No. Ah. Yes, it is the kind of game where looking at the chat while you play is very difficult, yes. As it turns out. I didn't like that track design very much. The track designs are generally quite good. Let's just knock that down and we'll maybe try that again. Hello, Port Ponky. I don't think I even did good enough to actually unlock the next bit. I had to reach the podium. Sad trombone. Let's go to one of the tracks that was... See, I kind of want to do the Looney Tunes or the Batman one, but I'm pretty sure they'll have music that will not be stream friendly. So let's go and do a slightly easier track, so I can get my eye in a bit. Let's do this one. What's going on is I'm crashing at high speeds a lot. yeah, we'll stick with this car and I'll figure out. Yeah, your Hot Wheels scale. So they're all based on, or at least most of them are based on actual Hot Wheels cars you can go out and purchase, which is part of the reason I wasn't super surprised when it had lots of microtransactions in. Because Hot Wheels as a franchise is how can we most effectively take a kid's pocket money out of their pocket, right? So this is one of the OG environments, the skate park. I think there's skate park, like university campus, basement, skyscraper, and garage, I remember. The campus one's really fun. So we'll see if we can find a track on there. Oh, hello, the mystery van. The mystery machine, get out of the way. Oh, you cheeky monkey. Say, as much as I can't watch the minimap at any given time, it is actually a really well-designed minimap for this type of game. Because one of the problems with this type of game when you have tracks that can go anywhere is the minimap, a 2D minimap can be absolutely impossible to follow what's going on. This one's quite a lot better than most, with showing kind of where you're supposed to jump to and the different loops and stuff. Get out of the way. Really should try and have a boost for loops, so you do slow down when going up vertical inclines, shockingly. No, don't hit that thing. And there definitely is, like, with the harder levels, there's a lot of tactics in the racing line and when you do the boost and stuff, which I wasn't expecting when I played a couple of test rounds. So there's definitely a surprisingly high skill ceiling in this game for it being quite arcadey. I think they've got the balance quite well done, because I've played a lot of arcadey racing games where it doesn't feel like you're getting better, which can be a bit boring. There absolutely is sometimes dodging around sandwiches and pencils, but you're at a slightly bigger scale, so it's more like tyres and stuff. You can have track that goes off the track, if that makes sense. We'll probably have a look at the track editor in a bit. Yeah, and you get a ridiculous amount of basement customization. It's just silly. In fact, let's go have a look at that now, just really quickly, because we're about to do a basement track. Yeah, I love that about Micro Machines as well. It's just, sadly, there's not been a good Micro Machines since arguably V3, which is a very old game now. So, yeah, this is your basement, and you can see it's split into like living room, kitchen, cup space, whatever that means, and hobby space. Each one of these spaces is bigger than the entirety of my house, incidentally. But it's kind of ridiculous the amount you can do, right? You can go in and you can change all the walls and floors and everything. I mean, obviously that one. It's a suitably cyberpunky floor. Yeah. It's shocking like how much stuff you can do to this, and then apparently when you play tracks in the basement, it will then reflect what you've done here. Let's go complete gamer wanker on the walls. Like, I don't think it's necessary for you to be able to change the skateboard, but cool. So yeah, now if we go exit the basement and play a basement track, if we go through that area, we should actually see that stuff on the walls. Yeah, well, I wish my flat was cleaning my flat, so I had enough space to put any track down. It was that easy. course, we're probably not going to go around the area I just redecorated now, are we? So I didn't get my boost at the start at quite the right time, so I only got one boost rather than two boosts. You can tell by the colour of your exhaust, a bit like the drifting in Mario Kart. Oh no, there you can see. My Cyberpunk livery is up there. So red boost is like a single boost, green boost is you get 2 lumps of boost. Purple is I think you get 3 lumps of boost, but I can't use 3 lumps of boost just yet. Whee, under the table. Keep wanting to look at the track, look at the chat, and every time I do, I crash horrifically. Oh dear. That's my excuse. Every time I hit a wall, it's because I'm looking at the chat, honest. What is nice is that basically everything in the world has collision physics, so you can have people driving over the chairs and over the tables and desks and stuff. So they do get, I think, why people would want to make tracks in this environment, which is really nice. Yep, cool, let's call that the racing line. Micro Machines did have cereal on the track, but only in the kitchen environment. There was like the different environments. There was the pool table environment where you'd obviously have pool balls and chalk and stuff. There's someone I've seen on Twitter who's making a really good Micro Machines-esque thing. I think it's called Tiny Tires or Tiny Wheels. And they really get what made Micro Machines great. Because they were showing stuff like you drive over a calculator in it, and with a propped up floppy disk. But they've made it so the calculator buttons all work, and you can actually drive over the calculator and actually type in little calculations, which is one of those really cute little kind of Easter eggy things. They say each secret comes with a clue which will help you to figure out how to unlock it. Okay. Complete the top secret event. That's not a super detailed clue. Micro Machines. Oh, it's probably not Tiny Tires then. There is somebody who is developing something in that ilk. It's not dead yet. They're also on Mastodon. Right, I can't go down that pathway because I've got to finish that secret. So I guess we got this direction. Yeah, and that would take us up to a college track. So let's do that. Let's swap out our car as well. What is this? Oh, okay. Vehicles sorted by, let's just have obtained and sort by speed. So that's my fastest car. Ryu is my second fastest car. All right. Man, it's such a weird mix of IP and just random normal cars. Are they still making it? That's good. I didn't know. Has it actually been released already, or was it just like early access? I mean, the cars just look so good though. Like the shaders they've got on this to make it all look like die-cast metal and everything. It's just lovely. And the tracks, when we start getting to ones like this, where they have the strong lighting cues, like It's just a really surprisingly pretty looking game. Even down to the fact that where your boosts come out vary per car as well, which didn't really need to do. Oh yeah, this feels heavier. Okay. Boost to go around the loop, that's nice. Even if I do bounce off the walls too much. Yeah, right, I did mess up that. Fair enough. Yeah, okay, so the acceleration on this car is not good, so I want to not go to a dead stop quite as much. That will be very bad. Out of the way. Ah! Let's hit that in the loop. Oh, stupid. Not quite sure how I feel about the roadblocks in the track, which are used quite a lot in the early tracks. I guess it was because the tracks are otherwise quite wide, just to add a bit of more interest in before they start doing the more wild and weird track designs. I haven't encountered any of the special pieces in the tracks yet. There's like spiders that shoot webs at you and stuff. I guess we encountered the boulders in the stop motion studio, which is a special piece. I'll probably go back to that stop motion studio track once I've upgraded a car to be a bit less rubbish. Once we've upgraded myself to be a bit less rubbish as well. Oh, you cheeky thing. Get off. That's it. Perfect. Yeah, I think tyres with a Y is like a regional spelling, is it not? Or it's like not a global spelling. Cool. So, what have we unlocked? Money and more wallpapers. Oh no, wallpapers for my profile. I could not care less. Oh, so we have a college track straight here, so we'll maybe go up on that. Do we have any blind boxes? No, but let's go see what is in the time-limited shop. See if there's any fun cars in here. We could waste all our money on a hot dog car. A shockingly powerful hot dog car. What the? How is that? How is that so good? Okay, so we might be buying the hot dog car. I really don't want to buy a Mini Cooper, so we won't do that. And I do not like the look of that car. So yeah, I guess we're wasting a bunch of our money on the Street Wiener. Because that actually looks like a shockingly good car. Man, it gets 4 boosts as well. Yeah, we're having that. Please and thank you. While we're here, let's just buy a random blind box. Cool, so I own that car, so there's no point me keeping it. So this is where you can dismantle it or sell it, and how much coin or gear you get depends on which level. So I don't think we'll get very much because it's a common one, but I will dismantle that to get some gears to upgrade a different car. By dismantle, they mean set it on fire, clearly. And why would it have Violet Berlin as a playable character? How do I upgrade my cars? Guessing collection. Let's go and... Oh, I'm thinking of Violet, who used to do like the game shows when I was a kid. Oh, there's no extra liveries for that one. But we can apparently... How do we... Is it not an upgrade? Oh, so this car can't be upgraded. So it's already fully upgraded. I see. What was my other car that I was using? This one. What's the upgrade to that? So if we upgraded this, which we can't afford to do, it would increase speed, braking power, and acceleration. So that would be a good upgrade. Okay. Let's go drive a ween around campus then, I suppose. Of the things that frustrate me about this game, the fact it doesn't remember your filters is up there. Oh, was that why she was in Micro Machines? Interesting. I don't think I'd ever made that connection. Can't remember who I used to play in Micro Machines now. So now I actually want to try and be a bit better on my initial boosts, because my initial boosts will I can store more than just the 2. Okay, so the grill is hinged. That tickles me. Oh, okay, this is a bit more Micro Machinesy. More going on the countertop, righty ho. And this is magnet track, so we can be a bit more free and easy on our drifting around there. Oh, I wanted to be on the left. Oh, goodness, this car does not handle jumps well. Oh, boy. So, yeah, it's... Ooh, some of the more powerful cars. Oh, okay, I guess we're going left. Like the more F1-shaped ones, which this are, I've noticed that actually them having... less ground clearance is really noticeable when you drive them. They're much more liable to like clip things and flip. Which I guess is a way to balance them. If you're referencing something with that Pop Ponky, it's not something I understand. So this car may be too fast for my skill level right now. Get out of the way, random normal looking car. Oh, yes, right stick if you're playing on a controller to roll your car in midair when it gets out of line. Well, let's go right this time. Try and stay on that boost strip. So this is just in one bit of the campus map in the science lab here. The other track, I think, explores all of it. So we'll try and make our way to there. Oh dear. Terrible drift. And we've smashed straight into that flag. deserve to make it back on the track there, but okay, we'll take it. The little bumps when you get back on the track always throw me off, because they really do fling you into the air, especially if you've got any speed on you. Also noticing this car has definitely lower handling than the other car I was using, which I am struggling with. That's better, that's a lot better. Oh, yeah, I remember that scene. But yeah, I think you should leave. I quite liked the first series, and then stopped watching the second season after one episode. I could never quite figure out why. I just didn't enjoy the second season at all. Okay, some gears and we've unlocked that track. So let's go back to this one. Let's try and use a different car. What? Oh, so this is a... what's this? This is a time trial. Good Scott morning to Scott. Yes, I have crashed a horrendous amount, and we just, before you joined, bought specially the Street Wiener, because it was one of the limited time cars in the shop. It's very hard to drive. The other silly car we've got that you might appreciate is the Roller Toaster, which is a right Bobby Dazzler. Oh, apparently we don't have, but could have, the Mattel Dreammobile. Excuse me a sec. Well, I'm clearly allergic to the Dreammobile, so we can't buy that one. Right. So we want a fast car. I think my fastest car is this one at the moment. So we're going to try and take this one onto the time trial. And see if we can get the better time on the time trial. Yes, even in this shot, you can see just how nice the reflection and you can see the scratches on the track and everything. I really appreciate. It's even got some glossiness. Okay, and this is the other type of boost where I have to hold the boost down. I need to remember that. Also, driving better would be a good start. This is a track we've done before, so I roughly know the layout. I know we can shortcut that. Ugh. We completely mess up that corner and lose all of our speed. Better. And we can land straight into a drift. That is useful. Alright, well that was not too bad because we had the fast car. Yes, Scott, your favourite car, the Wienermobile. It delivers hot dogs straight into your mouth. Let's go and unbox what we just won as well. See if it's any good. Turbone charged. Why? Oh. Okay. I don't know why that's got skeleton arms. But okay. We'll keep it because we don't have it already. And we will do this more complicated college track, and we'll do a run in the hot dog mobile. Oh, okay. And apparently we're going to be spat out of a T-Rex as well. Ah, this stream's got weirder than I was expecting already. So that's always good. I guess. Well, I really hope this is a point-to-point track, because otherwise we're going to have to re-enter the T-Rex somewhere, and I don't think that will be family friendly. So we're in a different bit of the campus now. I guess this is the library. The bit that students never go to. Okay. I have no idea the layout of this track. Oh. Oh, that's a bit of magnet track. That's nice. That means we're unlikely to fall off that corner. Some boost charge, some more magnet track. Oh, okay. We're going up this high. Ah, because we're going to sneak through a vent. Oh. Or I'm just going to hit all the barriers. Let's try right. Meep. I assume they've used magnet tracks on some of these corners because they're bits where people commonly fly off. It is nice you can see the other cars on the other pathway though. I like that. Okay, they've rejoined. I just completely bodied that car out of the way. Nice, nice. Oh, don't hit that wall. Good. Good, good, good. So you can see the tracks get pretty elaborate. And this isn't even a late game track. I think some of the ones in the skyscraper go really, really crazy with the verticality. Nice. Okay, so in tracks with less bumps, that's a good car. I like it. Coins and basement stuff. What are the red ones? Oh, the red ones must be a boss race. Oh, we've not done one in the skyscraper, so let's drive a hot dog around a skyscraper and then see what the boss race is all about. So how are people doing today? Have you had good weekends? Have you driven any tiny cars off skyscrapers yet? Or have you indeed been ridden by another car? Ah. Oh boy. That was a terrible, terrible start. Oh, okay. Interesting. I guess we do not care about physics holding the track up in this game. Lovely. Oh, I bet you there's a shortcut around here. Yep. Classic. I didn't do it very well, and then I immediately fell off, but it's good to know that shortcut's there for next lap. I can do it without falling off like an absolute chump. Okay. Yeah, I think part of the problem is this is a very light car. So if I get hit by some of the other cars, I definitely come off worse. It does have a lot of boosts. Please land. Oh no, I meant on the track. I should have specified. see if we can steal some places back with this cheeky shortcut. Nope, no we cannot. This race is going terribly. But at least that means we know we're at a decent difficulty level. Get out of the way, Dream Camper. Oh, Barbie. Oh, okay, bye. That could not be a good car, the Dream Camper. It must be incredibly top heavy. It's such a weird mix of things now. Where you're just like, I've just overtook Barbie, and Leonardo from the Turtles is just up there. There we go. Oh, cool. There's there's Wile E. Coyote just up there as well. Which I'm not going to catch. Well, you know, what can I say? I hope you do get ridden by a car, if that's what you're looking for this Sunday, Joe. Ah, there we go. I got the perfect timing, which means I get free boosts. I think because I'm kind of an F1 car shape, I'm very scoopy. I'm definitely like lifting up and going under other cars. Yeah, let's use that orange central line to aim. That's better. Get the boosts. There we go. That was a lot less catastrophic. I do want to nail this shortcut though. Oh yes, there it is. That was lovely. That's what we were looking for. I have to remember that even though it's an arcade racing game, I can take my finger off the accelerator. It's technically allowed. I mean, it's against the spirit of the thing, but it is technically allowed. It does help with the drifting. Oh, that was nearly a very bad landing. I think we got away with that in a way we probably didn't deserve. Oh, too tight on that corner. Good to know. No game, no respawning. I know where I'm going. Oh, enjoy the golem. What is the golem before you go? That is, of course, if you're still here to tell people in the chat. I'm not going to make that shortcut, so let's just go around the long way. So I was sliding horrifically out of control there. I've not seen anybody for a while though, so definitely been doing better. Lovely. Yeah, there's no one close behind us, so we definitely did better than that. Okay, so we've unlocked our first red circle. It's a perhaps overly difficult Sokoban game. No, yeah, I mean, it's not my cup of tea the second you say Sokoban, but enjoy. I hope you've had fun. Okay, the first boss in the next challenge. It won't be easy, but I trust you. Well, you barely know me. I wouldn't trust me. There's still that secret down there. So, I guess, up to chat if people are still around. Should we do the Eliminator in the skate park or try the boss the Nitro Bot Ex Machina. If we do the Nitro Bot, we get a lot of stuff, including the Nitro Bot, whatever on earth that is. And if we do the Eliminator, we get significantly less stuff. While I do that, I'm going to go see if I can upgrade any of my cars. No, I definitely don't have enough gears to upgrade any of my cars, so we're not going to do that. So, I think we should just do this one because it looks like we get a lot of stuff. And, you know, we're playing a Hot Wheels game, so we clearly want stuff. I guess that is the titular Nitro Bot there. Oh! I guess they're slowdown tracks. The red one's pointing towards us. Interesting. So when it's a boss track, it's actually... Oh, it's... Oh, horrifically messed up my timing there because I was too busy looking at the bot. Interesting. So it's not that we have specific... It's not that we have a specific racer that we're racing against. So the track itself is like a boss track. I see. Okay. And we have some time-based like boosts or slowdown tracks. Interesting. When... I wonder about... Has our track joined back up? I didn't notice it joining back up, but it must have done. I assume normally it would join back up before the next checkpoint. Excuse me, Leonardo. Out of the way, turtle. Oh no, it hadn't. It just joined up there. Oh, okay, so you can have checkpoints on the different splits. Ooh, that allows you to make much more complicated tracks. I like it. I see. The edges when it's flashing tells you what track it's going to turn into. Oh, this is a... And now we're upside down. Dip, 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 dip. Well, that looked like a bit of track, that like a marble flipper gate. Interesting. Oh my goodness, and we're still on lap 1. Okay, so yeah, these boss tracks are very, very long, complicated tracks then. Got it. Going all over the garage in this case. Okay, we want to be on the right-hand one for when that changes. Lovely. Oh, into a double loop. Right one's going to stay as a boost, so we can stay on that one. Perfect. And obviously the track goes through the double loops, because that's some sort of law when you're doing loops. And so that was like a 3-minute lap. I think we went right last time, so let's go left this time. Oh, and immediately roll our car. Sensational. Oh, that put us back so far as well. At least we have a lot of track to catch up. Nope, we're about to change it to slow down. Okay. Okay, so we're making up some places, that's good. Oh, that was a really mean fan placement before that. Maybe I meant to go right. I'm not sure, but oh well. You don't have much time to make decisions when you're going at what I imagine is several centimeters per hour. Oh no, that's the wrong one to be on. Need to be on the middle. There we go. Oh. I do enjoy the bits where you have to flip your car. This reminds me a lot of a game called... Oh, I got absolutely stuffed by that swapping. Reminds me a lot of a game called Distance, which is like a survival cyberpunk racer thing, which I really, really like. I don't think it's very well known. But it's, you're sort of it's very Tron-like. You're this car driving through the grid to basically go and fix a virus, and the virus keeps messing up the track, and you have to do a lot of stuff where you flip your car from wall to wall, or do kind of tricks to survive the tracks. It's very, very cool. There's an amazing soundtrack to it as well, and it's surprisingly creepy for a racing game. It's not something I'd expect from a racing game, but there you go. A racing game with true horror elements. We want to be on the right hand one. We'll go right this time. Hopefully we just completely stuffed up the other racer as well. Oh, that's mean on a turn. Yeah, okay. Lovely, lovely, hitting all the boosts. Oh, careful across there, because those fans were definitely designed to knock us off. Oh, that's a real shame. Excuse me, Michelangelo. I know you are a party dude and we can have pizza later, but for now we must race. Oh! Okay. I was wondering why why my control went all wonky, because someone was actively fishtailing me. Rubbish. I'm not hopeful about winning this one. Stay in the middle, that looks safe. Don't get screwed by that this time. Oops. Accidentally take out another car. All the better. Oh, we maybe will sneak the win out of this if I don't mess it up. I don't know why I just Murray Walkered myself. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No tyres falling off. Oh, that was closer than I would have liked. But yeah, we just about did it. And we drifted 2,900 inches. Which I assume when you're this size is quite a long way. Oh boy. Yeah. That track was fun. Stressful, but really fun. So obviously the track designs do go a bit more over the top. Oh, and I think I've just unlocked a trophy I can put in my trophy cabinet in the basement. That's cute. And we've got the Nitro bot for the track builder. Cool. Complete the best event using the Buns of Steel vehicle. Okay. Well, we'll go and do T-Rex in the living room in a second. Let's go to the basement and figure out how to put our trophy in the cabinet. Maybe that's why it's called the cup space, because it's for all our trophy cups. Where would that be? Cup cabinet. Aha. Oh yeah, it's already in there. Ah, okay, that's cool. I like that. That's a cute touch. So then other people play your tracks, they can see how much you've done as well. We probably don't have quite enough gears to upgrade stuff yet. So let's go do T-Rex in the living room. I fancy changing car. Maybe we have enough to upgrade the track manga car, which looks like a decent one. Yeah, we do. That will make... Oh. Interesting, it makes our braking power and our acceleration better, but our boost worse. It doesn't feel like a good deal. Where are some of the other cars we were using? Let's do a filter, obtain speed. Yes, that one we can just make better all around. We can't afford yet, because I guess that will take it up to its like highest level. Oh, okay. I probably shouldn't be saying this, what if them being the bad guy, but I do kind of dig the Shredder-mobile. That will make it a pretty good car, so yeah, let's upgrade. And then, yeah, and if we upgrade that again, that'll make it really super good. So we need 500 for that. So let's stick that in our favourites too. That's very odd. Okay, the Marvin the Martian one though. That is recognisably Marvin the Martian. Tell you what, I might upgrade that one as well, just because that is like a very classic Hot Wheels car, and I quite like the look of that one. What else do we have a bit further down? Yeah, I did not like the winning formula, so we're not going to use that again. So I've heard that's a good car, but it doesn't look good. I wonder if the next upgrade makes it really good. Stuff. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so the next upgrade makes it nearly max across the board. Okay, that's why people were saying that one was good, I suppose. Alrighty, well, let's try. Yes, Marvin the Martian is definitely the character for all of us who have reached middle age and are just sort of tired, a bit grumpy, just really want a nap and just want all these kind of argumentative bunnies to shut up and just do what they're told. Hello, Tim. There is several dinosaurs in my living room, this is true. But if I had a basement this size, I would have a lot more space to actually put them. Ah, perfect. And we got the triple boost there, so we can go past a few people straight away. Oh man, the pool table really makes me think of Micro Machines. All the best tracks are on the pool table. And we can see our basement customizations now on the track, which I really like. Okay, so this is a pointer. Nope. That was a much tighter corner than I was expecting. That's better. That was a much better turn. I now recognise that noise means you've got full boost. You should use them, you idiot. Ooh, okay. These corners are a lot windier than in the previous ones. Need to get used to that. Boost and loop. Charge up. Yeah, perfect timing for someone to be going around the loop there as well. This track is tight. A lot of hairpins. I would argue too many hairpins. take that. That was not a clean race. But a win is a win. I'll try and save up 500 Gira Majigs for upgrading. So we have Ducts Slalom or Spiral 101. Well, both of them sound terrifying. Any preferences in the chat? Should we go back to college or to the skate park? While I have a quick drink. Being full on Scottish today and having some iron brew. Well, it is my weekend. I should be able to treat myself by running over a student or two. Okay, and that will give us a blind box, and it's a new track. So sure, let's give it a try. Okay, it's a lap race. These initial cameras, though, they're not, because they have. I guess they have to be done procedurally, because the track can go anywhere. They're not particularly exciting most of the time. That's a tank. That's a tank with tank tracks. What on earth? I kind of want it. Tanknator. I'm sure it's going to be an absolutely terrible car to drive, but I kind of want it. Off track. So where is this spiral going to be? Oh, we're in the lecture hall. I see. I recognise desks. And an empty room where students should be. I feel like I'm being quite mean. They've actually been quite attentive this semester for me, so I shouldn't complain. Get out of the way, Donatello. You're the best turtle, but I am still going to beat you. Oh, that looks like a spiral. I have to say, I'm much enjoying the OG tracks. I'm much more enjoying the OG tracks than I was stop motion track. But we will go back to that one and try other tracks in that environment, just in case it was a duff first track. I cannot catch Donny. He has used his science tricks to make his car better. Oi! I was about to say, who's Robin 2.0T, but I guess that is one of the many orphan children what Batman has turned to a life of despair and regret. Well, I think calling someone Robin 2.0 is a little bit on the nose, even for Batman. It's like, oh no, my pet hero man has died again. I best go to the orphanage and get a new Robin, and we'll call him Robin 2.0 this time. And Donny, you are too good. I have to check out if your car's any good then. Oh, that felt much better going down that spiral. got in the groove. And then immediately messed it up on the next corner, of course, but stringing together all the corners in one smooth motion is not where I'm at yet with this game. Prom is much better without students. Are you talking about the campus being empty there, Tim? Gears, blind box, track. Let's go. Oh, I've got 2 blind boxes to open. So 2 overwrought visuals to try and convince me to spend money. Oh, that is pretty but rubbish. It's not a dupe, so I'm not breaking it down yet. And that is quite pretty as well, to be fair. But again, pretty rubbish car. But we'll keep it. So we have a time trial. We've done that track recently, so we won't do that one. And another boss track. A Scorpion. Sure. Let's do another boss track, because it will open up that way and it will get us a bunch of stuff to upgrade and whatnot. I'm liking the Shredder-mobile at the moment. Got the hang of that one. Oh, well, that's a new piece. Interesting. That snake's going to cause problems. I have to say, after having like 2.5 years of Campai without students, they're very weird when no one's on them. Like, it's sort of nice to start off with, but then very, just very spooky after an hour or so. That was a bigger jump than I was expecting. Okay, it's laps again. Oh, I guess the bosses, they put stuff on the track. So the Scorpion seems to have left these green blobs. And maybe the Nitro Bot. Oh, yeah, okay, the Nitro Bot. Oh dear. Okay, that does bad things to my boost. Interesting. The Nitro Bot must have left the reversing boost pads on the track. I see. Oh dear. I'm not entirely sure what you're supposed to do when the snake's mouth's closed. I guess wait. Oh, that drains your boost. That's bad. No, don't drive through them, you idiot. Oh. Stop driving through the negative effect things. Oh dear, bad times. Oh, flip's sake. Oh, they messed that up on the right. I have been there, buddy. Oh, at some point we finished that lap. Cool. Boost, 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 boost. Oh, that's so unkind. I thought I'd made that. Oh, nuts. Okay, let's see if we can do this lap without hitting so many of the slime, like the... Nope. Immediately hit one. Fewer of the bad things. Hit the good things, not the bad things. that's going to shot on me, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I don't have enough boost. Oof. I was better around that corkscrew into the snake, or out of the snake. This game makes you say weird things. Okay, so we're chasing... Talking about saying weird things. We're chasing down Chun-Li for the lead now. We would have been until this Mad Max-esque car got all up in our grill. Okay. Hit the boosts. Avoid the scorpion poison. See if we can do this jump properly and not get stuffed by the snake this time. Unlike the person on the other side who definitely messed up. Oh, I think Chun-Li must have been stuffed by the snake there. Because they have fallen behind. I fear if I say stuffed by the snake too much, I'm going to get demonetized on YouTube when I upload the VOD. But I haven't got enough followers to actually do money stuff on there yet anyway, so meh. Oh, bad. Like the fans on the corners that are desperately trying to help me not crash into the wall, and you're about 60% effective in their goal. About 50% effective in their goal. Yeah, those boss tracks are fun. They're very, very, like, over the top and intense. I dig them. Really enjoy them. Woohoo! So we'll have obtained a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. What's down here? Complete the Amazing Drivers event with the Motosaurus vehicle. Okay. That's another secrety thing. We got a couple of blind boxes, so let's go see what cars we got. Now, I know there's a DeLorean in here. I want the DeLorean. Sandivore? Oh. Whoa, that has a lot of boost, but is generally quite rubbish. Man, okay, I didn't know you could get that many boosts. Oh, it's not a dupe, so I'll keep it, but... And just a Ford Mustang GT. Okay then. Yeah, again, not great, but it's not a duplicate, so I'll keep it. Oh, I can jump to my collection from this screen. Lovely. So I've got some money. But I don't think... Oh, these have changed now. I think they've decreased the amount of time between them swapping, which is nice, because that was one of the complaints originally. Okay, are any of these actually good? Oh boy, the handling of that. We are not getting that. It's the Bone Shaker. Oh, the Bone Shaker is... I guess that's the upgraded, fully upgraded version of the one we've already got. So I'll maybe get that. I like the look of this. The 24 hours. Yeah, clever. Actually, that is good. Actually, that's really good. Full speed, full handling, decent acceleration. I never use brake. Yeah, we'll be having you, please, and thank you. Bad to the blade. It's pretty good as well. Yeah, we've got the money, we'll have that too. Nice. Okay. So what do we unlock over here? Spider trial, okay. Yeah, we'll do the duck slalom because that sounds like a fun track. Where has it put our new cars? Wow. Where has it put our new cars? Let's do a... Oh, there is one. Yeah, let's add that to the filters. Filters, add that to our favourites, I mean. So let's grab those two. And I think I want to drive the new 24 Hours Le Mans-esque car. That looks like it might be quite stable on the floor as well. If we're jumping in and out of ducts, will probably be quite useful for us. And it's got a lot of flame decals, which means it's technically very fast. I was really confused why everything looked strange in the distance, but it's because it's behind like a chain wire fence. I thought it just hadn't like fully loaded them in. Ooh, okay, that gets stuck on the walls. Must remember that. Oh, it drifts lovely though. Well, I guess we're going left then. In a totally controlled manoeuvre. Oh, okay, I have no idea what way up we are anymore. Okay, cool. Back on the ground, that's always a good start for knowing which way up I am. Wow, these tracks definitely getting more wild. Excuse me. Okay. Eew, got away with that. Okay. It's going to be a lot of... This stream is just going to be me making noises when I think I'm about to miss the landing pad of the track. Let's try going right this time. Under the skate ramp where we start. Into the gloom. Okay, back into the vents. Right, do a boost. Avoid the flags, preferably. Nice. And then do the spiral up, which can get us a nice full boost bar. Really got the balance quite well done with the boosts, because it feels like if you're going a long period without boosting, it feels like you're doing bad at the game, which is what it's supposed to feel like in an arcade racer, right? If you're not sideways and using your boost, you're not playing it optimally. So I like the fact they've got that balance where you do feel, if you're not boosting, that you've kind of messed up that section, because you probably actually have. It reminds me, yeah, what it's reminding me of quite a lot is actually the old Burnout games before Burnout Paradise. Like Burnout pre-Takedown and Burnout 4, where to actually be good at the game you just had to be like drifting or on the wrong side of the road or boosting the entire time. So it ended up going from this thing of learning how to drive without crashing to learning how to drive dangerously without crashing, so you got the boost. It kind of reminds me of that quite a lot. More like a Burnout than a Micro Machines, because Micro Machines tend to be a bit slower, a bit more kind of windy in their tracks. It's no bad thing. I love a Burnout game, and we haven't had a good Burnout game for a good long while. So it's absolutely not a complaint. Cool. Okay. I think it's time to go and see if we can redo that track from earlier and not mess it up so much. It's our best car for this. I think we want one with high handling. I think we're going to try the Le Mans-esque car again. Ah! Someone's playing the game on the laptop. Cute. I got a perfect boost, and I would have got 3 boost segments there if this car could have 3 boost segments, but it can't. Oh, there's a burger car as well. Get out of the way. M. Bison and Aquaman and apparently Kit. Kit's in the game? Okay. I had no idea that the Knight Rider car was in here. They really have added a lot of cars since it first launched. Oh yes, Scotty, I forgot that you'd got a... Would it be right to say deeply sexual love towards Kit? I thought it would be right to say that, yeah. Oh, that segment's real bumpy. Okay, better. I like how everyone, like, you're more interested in Kit than you are, say, Aquaman. Which, not criticising. Oh, they got absolutely scuppered. Yeah, okay, so let's not boost on the ice. That seems like seems like just generally a bad plan. He says immediately then boosting on the ice the first chance he gets. Okay. You're doing better this time. Ooh, don't fall off. Okay, sure. I'm not sure that was the racing line, but we'll take it. Oh, barriers. Oh. I really don't like this track design where there's loads of like surprise hairpins with not very much direction. Because in the track editor you can actually put like the big glowy flashy arrows to tell people when a corner's coming up, which is really important when you're in a game that's going this fast. So to not then have them on those sections feels really cheap. Oi! Oi! Cheeky. The car's better looking in Aquaman. I mean, that is true. David Hasselhoff wouldn't have looked so cool sitting on Aquaman, or indeed in Aquaman. It certainly would have made for a very different television show. One that perhaps wouldn't have been so beloved by families. Oh, we just lost a lot of people off the side of that track. Oh, and again. Wow, those rocks, if they hit you, they are not kidding about. No, get off. Don't land on the Koenigsegg. Or the McLaren. Get out of the way, McLaren. Oh no. Problems. Yep, saw that one coming. And did nothing to stop it. Those barriers are absolutely stuffing me. Right, okay, let's not boost into this section because we know it's bumpy and problematic. Better. Really having to concentrate now. This is the tight corner. That's how we want to do it. With the Koenigsegg nudging us all the way around, which is unhelpful. Yeah, this is a straight through. We can boost in this bit. Whoa. Beautiful. That's a much better landing. Okay. Well, I'm sure this game has some sort of rubber banding in. We can still get a bit of a lead and that will help. Ugh. When stuff like that happens. I think that's my problem with this track, is all the edges you can hit as well, they're all quite, like, uneven. So, because of the physics being as if you're driving these little cars, you do ping off in really odd, unpredictable directions, which can be unfortunate. We are still in the running, assuming I don't immediately stuff up this corner. Better. Remembering there's a brake, that helps. Oh, please stuff it, yes. Eat flag. I think if I can keep it on track, that's us then. Big if. Oh, that was still worryingly close. Cool. Oof. We can actually see what other tracks look like in this area now. Oof. Yeah, go on then. Let's see what we earned for all that stress. A duplicate vehicle. Into the dismantle fire with you. Righty. So that means we can go down to Diorama Race or to the time trial, which is on exactly the same track we just did, so obviously we're going to go do the other track. And then what we might do is I might just go and turn off the music, and then we can try the other areas as well. Because with me insulting Batman and Robin, it would seem rude if we didn't go and have a look at the Batman, the Batcave, and the Looney Tunes bit. Oh man, so many barriers on these tracks. Are we going? Yeah, I do not like... I thought it'd be really cool going through these diorama bits, but they're so badly signposted, they're not fun at speed at all. Oh, something there. Noises. Unhappy noises. Bridge, 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 bridge! Up. That is criminal, I survived that. Ah, well, there you go. There's some comeuppance, I suppose. Oh, that was a split that I had not noticed. Okay. Oh, apparently you can just boost through all those barriers, but that doesn't seem like a faster route. I've just noticed that Blanca's got like a unicorn for their icon. Oh. Get out of the way, Superman. Everyone knows you're the worst superhero. Oh, you absolute git. Oh, I mean, I kind of have to unlock the Triceratruck. That's a cute design. Bad. I did all of that bad. This environment does give you lots more crashes to watch though, Scotty. Even if you might never know which way's up. To see if we can pull back a podium from this. Definitely just making a very grumpy face right now at this track. I think after this race I am done with this area. It's just not as fun as the basic tracks. It's a shame because there's a lot of promise and I really like the idea of them trying a different sort of environment to the traditional ones you get in this type of game. Yeah, really fiddly, doesn't really seem to fit the actual driving mechanics. Plus, it doesn't help that they've put loads of the barriers in the track, which are my kind of least favourite random piece. No, we're going this way, Blanca. Into the trees with you. Okay, we might be able to squidge a win out of this if we don't mess it up. Which is admittedly a big if. An undeserved victory. So very undeserved. Alrighty. It's still the racing cars. It'll be the racing cars until I get hungry o'clock, pretty much. What have we got in the box? Insert your own... Oh, hey! Hey, buddy. We were just talking about you. Oh, you are You're a stunning, stunning thing. Oh, hey Dan, thanks for joining us. I never played many of the old Hot Wheels games. There's some really famous PC ones where they were like FMV racing games that LGR's reviewed, but I love the Micro Machines games, and this is definitely feeling a bit like those, which is nice. Oh, we can't sell you. You're too nice a car, so we'll keep you. However, this area can absolutely do one. I hate this environment. So, with that in mind, and because I'm worried about Looney Tunes stuff, let's go to audio. We're just going to turn the music off. And yeah, basically it was FMV racing, and depending, you basically press buttons at the right time to kind of change between different film tracks and to do jumps and stuff. It was kind of clever, but very obvious what it was doing when you're a cynical old person. Go look up the LGR video on it. It was interesting. Do we want to do Looney Tunes or do we want to do Man Bats? Next. So we can go to the Looney Tunes Adventure Park or the Bat Cave. The two other like new extra environments. Rabies Man, I assume that's Batman, yep. Or Man Bat. Cool, let's try then. We have 5 races and 5 time attacks in here. Yeah, it looks like there's sort of, I'd assume 5 tracks in each extra environment. So, I suppose we should probably go have a look if there's any decent Batmobile-esque vehicles that we could be driving. Oh, good, I unlocked the Barbie camper. Hooray! Okay. What is our first, fastest Bat-related vehicle? I mean, we're not. I have standards. We're not driving Superman. The Barbie thing is bad because it's really top heavy, and it was hassling me in an earlier race, so I'm not friends with it. Well, yeah, because it's a camper van. It's not going to be good, is it? Baseline. Where are there any good Bat cars? Wow, that's the first one we've got, and it is. I mean, I love the design, but it is atrocious. Exxon product placement. Which was the Exxon one? I was not paying attention, clearly. Oh, okay, I quite like the look of the Joker's car, but its stats are really bad. Oh yeah, I've not tried driving a monster truck yet. We'll definitely do that. This vehicle is immune to the effects of some modules and interactive objects. Interesting. So that's our first Batmobile. It's quite a way down. Yeah. I'd expect there to be a decent Batmobile somewhere, but maybe I've not unlocked decent Batmobiles yet. Yeah, because they're all really, really terrible for speed. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So the F1 cars might do. So this is because, Dan, you missed what I said earlier. This is the... if we jump back out, it will say in the bottom, the Game of the Year edition, which they came out like last week or something, and basically packaged 98% of the game that existed into one unlock, in like one download, and it was on sale. It was something like 20 quid. I imagine it will be in sale in the upcoming Steam Autumn sale again. And it was actually, it was really worth it at that point, as you start with loads of cars. Some people are grumpy because there was like a battle pass thing, and the battle pass cars don't exist in this anymore. I never even knew they did a random battle pass thing. But yeah, it means you start with a lot of cars and a lot of content, and it's definitely worth it for 20 quid, I would say. But your mileage may vary depending on your income, obviously. Okay, so all the Batmobile cars or Bat cars are terrible, so we're going to use Shredder, because that's the one that looks nearest. Oh yeah. The shaders on the cars look beautiful. I'll show you after this race the car customization, the livery creator, and you can see what I mean. But like the tracks as well, you can see the fingerprints, you can see the scratches. Like, the attention to detail in the game itself and how everything looks is really, really good. Like, much better than it should have to look for this type of game. They've done a lot of stuff right. There's just some slight issues with like the monetization and I'd say some of the DLC tracks. Whoa! I remember the Hot Wheels logos on the Batcave before. But he is the sort of man who can buy a lot of pointless tat, I suppose. The blue circles on the track, they're just the connecting parts that you get in Hot Wheels tracks. They're the bits that lock it together. So they don't do anything. It's just to show where one piece of Hot Wheels track starts and the next begins. The pink or magenta sort of glowy zappy ones, oh no, Joker module. Oh, you absolute plum duff, that other car that pushed me in the other direction. Oh no. The magenta bits, what I was trying to say, are immediate boosts. Cool. Oh, use the boost to get back on track. Oof. I do love that how much air control they've given you, because you do feel like you've got a chance of correcting when you utterly mess up. Which is nice, you sort of want that in this type of game. Oh, the other car. Oh, we were on a split. Man, that was a big split. Oh! Must remember that this is a physics-based racing game. If you go too fast over a bump, you will just get flung off the track. Unless you're on a magnet track. I have to remember that. Yeah. Man, the other cars are like ridiculously far away. Man, we got absolutely crushed in that one. That's how I understand it. Anyway, I don't think I've ever had Hot Wheels stuff. I was much more into my AFX, which was like a half-size Scalextrics slot car racing thing when I was a kid. So I had a lot of AFX at home, including a set called Vertigo, which had a bunch of like loops and wall climbs and stuff in. That was my favourite thing. Which this is feeling actually very similar to, with all the ridiculous tracks. It was made harder when I used to play with my slot cars because we had a cat who was very eager to play slot cars as well, but not necessarily in a helpful manner. So I always think that one of these games, like a Micro Machines game, should just have a giant cat paw that occasionally completely whacks your car off the track, and it would really make it feel like my childhood. Oh dear. A lot of people crashed into that same spot apparently. Okay, left is safe. Ooh. Well, safe unless you absolutely mess it up. Yes, there's definitely an issue I'm finding when you're off the track and it's not very clear which direction you're supposed to go. That one was just me kind of losing concentration. This track layout's definitely not as bad as the stop motion ones, thankfully. Our car, it does not feel like it's keeping up. So maybe we'll have to go back to one of our faster cars to try and do this track. Get out of the way, He-Man! Oh, yeah, we definitely need a faster car. We are not keeping up. So let's go very quickly. Show you the livery editor on the cars. So to that, I need to go to collection, I think. So if we go to like this car and then do. How do we change the livery actually? Oh, you can actually go download other people's liveries. That's cool. But that's not what I wanted to do. Must be an editor. There we go. Don't know why you'd have a tab just for one editor, but obviously they were thinking to add more. So if we go to, say, this car. So for you can do like everything, the chassis, the interior, the rims, the tyres, and the glass differently. So like you can give them coloured tyres. You do the more complicated palette as well if you want. But where I think they really have got how Hot Wheels look is if you go to the change area material. Oh, the track editor is in a different tab. So you can do like the enamel painted one. Let's give it a colour so it's more obvious. Let's give it as it's me, a lovely orange. But then if you go to change area material, you do the glitter one, which you got on some of the fancy ones. You can do the metal flake one, which is the one that for me feels most kind of Hot Wheelsy in some ways. Then got lacquered metal, which is just straight up metal. Satin finish, which also feels quite kind of old die-cast cars. And then opaque metal and opaque plastic. So you can really kind of do some nice stuff in here, I think. So if we say we can do plastic, and then we can add a layer. Confirm shot, and then if I've not looked in this before, so I have no idea what's in here. That's interesting. Just a tab for Jaws. Bunch of different fonts. A bunch of different fonts. Oh wow. But let's do a classic Hot Wheels one. Then try and figure out where it's gone. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Man, that could do with being sped up. But like, say we can put the sticker in. I think it's just a stamp one, yeah. So you stamp it, and then we can change the sticker material if we want to then be like a metallic sticker, which is just really cute. Like, because I remember like having a metallic sticker was like, that was the thing you wanted, right? Yeah, we must have been tiny before scaling, or above where the car was maybe. So like, yeah, you can definitely spend your time in here making some really nice stuff. I'm not going to bother because it's not my sort of thing, but I think it's really nice that it exists. The track builder's in this tab, by the way, Dan, and we'll have a look at that in a little bit as perhaps a wrap up. Yeah, let us go and try and do that Batman track. What I want a faster car. So we might go back to the 24 hours car because that was working well for me. So yeah, there's a lot of really nice customization stuff in here, and it's clear that the people who made this did love Hot Wheels and put a lot of effort in. Like, it's like the little things that you can see the fingerprint marks and stuff. It's just really cute. Yeah, totally, Dan. I think the detail in the editor would excite a lot of people, and it's clear that, like, especially for kids, if they've got the time on their hands to make the nice liveries and make the nice track, you could really make something that, you know, your dream Hot Wheels track and car, which I think is really nice. Because, you know, Hot Wheels track and stuff like that it's not a cheap thing. So actually, if you can pick up this game when it's on sale for, like, say, 20 quid, that's a lot of play for a kid or adult. Ugh. Don't you? Oh. Even if I hate the AI so very much sometimes. I'll say instantly, I'm playing this on medium AI. There is hard and one above hard. Can't remember what they call it. So, like, this is a game that can definitely be hard as nails if you want it to, but has a nice little bit of customization, so younger people or people who do not have the reaction speeds for fast racing games can play it a bit more. It doesn't have any, as far as I'm aware, Mario Kart-esque speed settings. So there's no, like, different CCs that I'm aware of. I have no idea about the rubber banding. I assume it has some form of rubber banding, as these games normally do, but it's never felt super unfair to me. Like, normally when I'm losing, it's because I don't have a very good car equipped, or because I'm doing badly. The time trials in particular, you really notice having a better car, and because it's quite physics-based, it's really sensitive to if you mess up a corner. Or, as I'm doing here, I've not been drifting enough, so I've not built up enough boost, which is then really scuppering me for some of these bits. Podium just. I think that's enough to unlock the next track, at least. Nice. And get a cheeky blind box. I don't think I like something being called the Street Creeper. Oh, it's a spidery one. Got done with last F1 race of the season, and I'm watching this while playing F1 Manager. That is a very racy day. I can probably help you out there by changing to a F1-esque car as well. Okay, let's try a different track here. Let's try the Hangar Tour. Do I have any good F1 cars? I haven't tried the Twin Mill yet. That's meant to be my fastest car. Let's try that one. Let's have horrific accidents in the Twin Mill. It's like a special edition Twin Mill. The basic one you get is not this fast. And this is the other type of boost, so I have to remember to hold the boost button down. Oh, we just jumped over the Batmobile. Okay, that is quite pleasing. So weird, all the Batman cars are so rubbish. I wonder if they get better when you upgrade them, or there's better ones to unlock. It also looks like you can build a track that drives over the Batmobile, which is distinctly pleasing. Oh, Batman's got right fancy vents. Where in... Oh, that went badly. I have no idea where we are, or why these vents are so fancy, but It's nice that they're here for doing track designs. Oh, spider! So the spider webs are obviously very bad if you hit them. They kind of glue you to the track for a little bit and you have to fight your way out of them. Ooh! Okay. Oh well. Guess we're doing an impromptu demonstration of the spider's web then. Is that Snoopy? That is Snoopy. Okay. Not seen that car before. That seems like it will be one that's very prone to rolling over. Oh, and that's Raphael. And M. Bison. And, yeah. I was about to say and Daffy Duck, but that was just the icon, not the actual car. I think that's one of the fun things if you are a kid playing this, is just looking at all the random like Hot Wheels cars. Which is obviously like, it's a sales pitch, right? It's like a Saturday morning cartoon. Hey look at all these cars and play toys and play sets you could get from your favourite insert franchise here. It's kind of cute that you can see them all. Oh! Nudged off route again. Nope, nope, messed up that corner. I'm missing the music as well. Oh, you get spider. So if we go back to do normal races, I'll turn the music back on. Is there any advantage to driving the taller cars, or is it just looks? They do feel different. So taller cars definitely roll easier, from what I've experienced. But they also, like really low ground clearance cars like this one, when the track's really bumpy, they can actually be much more difficult to handle because they're more likely to flip and spin. But I think the biggest thing is just the heavier cars will be more shovey. Like they'll knock you out of the way a lot easier if you collide with them. And I have noticed that some of the faster cars, like this one, like it only takes one really small nudge and then I completely lose control of the thing. Oh, screw you, spider. So I think there probably is advantage to having some of the bigger cars if you can get a big car with decent handling. Yeah, I guess so. But it definitely does feel like there's physics going on behind the scenes in like a noticeable way. I think I've totally stuffed this race now. Yeah. Boo. On that note, I think I want to go have a look at what the Looney Tunes environment's like, and then we'll maybe have a cheeky look at the track editor. I didn't like how that car handled very much, so I'm going to go back to Old Faithful. Although, how many gears do I have? I think probably not enough to upgrade it again yet. No, I need 500, but I could dismantle. I need to dismantle 2 good cars to get 500. Do I have some cars I can dismantle I don't care about? No, that's actually quite a good car, so we'll not dismantle that one. And we can't dismantle that one because I guess special ones that you can only dismantle ones from blind boxes. So all of these are ones I got for buying the Game of the Year Asterix edition. Okay, so I want the obtained vehicles. Let's sort them by speed again. But let's start at the bottom. Okay, so I really don't care about that car. So let's dismantle that car. Skip all that nonsense. Don't care about that car, so let's dismantle that car. Skip all that nonsense. Now, we're not disassembling the Tricera truck. Do I have any other cars? Ford Mustang's alright. Solid Muscle. Oh yeah, I really dislike that car, so we'll dismantle that car. No, let's not waste our upgrades on the toaster. And see if there's any other cars in here that I like less. Yes, you can get dupes, and you do get dupes, but it gives you the option to immediately dismantle them, and you can either dismantle or sell them, and depending on their rarity, you get like more gears or money. So like commons are worth 50 gold, 50 gears and 300 money, whereas rarer, as you can see, 100 and 500, and then I think legendary, yeah, are worth 200 and 1,000. So you can effectively recycle dupes in a nice enough way to get better cars. There's also a, yeah, I think that one I care less about. You can also get limited time cars. There's like a rotating limited time shop. And it used to be quite a long long period, but they've decreased that as far as I can tell. So that'll get me better braking and better acceleration. Yes. That sounds good. I think that's probably then at its max level. Yeah, perfect. So if we go into the shop quickly, you'll see there's a limited time thing here. It's another 41 minutes till it changes. But you can basically buy cars directly from here if there's one you want and it turns up in the shop. You can also buy blind boxes as well. So we could just buy like 4 blind boxes. Which I guess is what you'd end up doing when you're trying to complete your collection. But there is enough... yeah, it's different enough. There's enough cars here that I just wouldn't bother ever trying to complete my collection. It would just take forever and it's not super interested. So there you go, I've got a duplicate there, so I could either sell it or dismantle it. I think upgrades are more important, so I'm going to dismantle it. Yeah, we don't have that, so we'll keep it. And... that's awful. That's properly awful, but I want to keep that because that will be fun for a flits, like a car in a split screen race. Alrighty, let's go try out our new upgraded 24-hour car. I have to say, it could also do with better filtering. Now there's a lot of cars. And it could do with remembering your filters, because you can pick favourites. But now there's so many cars, it's not quite good enough. And I suspect the browser was good enough when they only had like 40 or 50 cars, and now they've got... now you start with 40 or 50 cars, and there's another 100 or so to unlock. I just don't think it's really good enough, the amount of cars they've got, but it's one of those things when they keep adding to a game, I suppose. What now? Interesting. Is that because we've upgraded it, or is that just in the Looney Tunes world? That's how the start works. Oh, hello, Coyote. Huh. That's a bigger jump than I was expecting again. Oh! Oh, this is quite a cute looking environment, to be fair. Oh dear, that's obviously one of the new pieces, the Acme rockets. Oh wow, you can go up into the Acme rocket. Ooh. Okay, I was not expecting a jump when we were at that angle. That's interesting. Yes, I've not seen that boost start before. Normally, up until now, it's been you have to press accelerate as close to the 2 appearing as possible. And depending how close you are is how much boost you got. Like 1, 2 or 3 cells or kind of charges in this type, or 1/3, 2/3 and 3/3 of the normal boost bar. Out this way. Yep. Careful about boosting around here because I don't know my route. Need to be careful of falling off the edges as well. Oh, okay. Okay, this environment's quite cute. That they've got like all the characters chilling out in their own little areas. Oh, do I have to... Yep, okay. Rotate to magnet track upside down. That is, it's tricksy. Oh yeah, I guess that bit there's... That must be where Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote's bit, because it's the Grand Canyon-esque. Oh, no, took my eye off the road and forgot where we were going. Didn't notice where we were going. Suckering succotash. We're going to end it at that's all, folks, sign, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, let's do that one again. I think that one's doable if I don't mess it up so much. But that's a cute environment. Definitely preferred that track to some of the stop motion ones. Yeah, I don't know if that's just because we upgraded the car or if it's this environment. I guess we will try somewhere else with this car or a different car here. Other characters are hiding around here as well. We've seen Coyote and we've seen Bugs. I imagine Roadrunner and Martin the android. Marvin the android will be around somewhere. Yeah, and Daffy must be around somewhere as well, because he's got a car. Let's try and stay as straight as possible up that ramp. Boosts. That's a lot smoother. Marvin the Martian, yeah. Because he has a car as one of the cars you get with that set. Well, with this set. It was kind of like there was 3 packs that came with tracks, cars, and... Oh boy! Okay. Bit unkind I wasn't allowed to reset their game, but alright. So there was the Batman one, there was the Monster Truck stop motion one, and there was this one, the Looney Tunes one. I wonder what's in that central point. I don't really have much time to look as we're driving through it. Being beaten by Santa. Would you stop being so seasonally appropriate, Santa? I didn't notice there were carrots we were jumping through before. Ah. Let's not fall off in Bugs' home. Better. Much better. Not better. Distinctly not better. Oh no. Stuffed it near the end again, haven't I? Man, these DLC tracks are not messing about with difficulty. Oh, we stole a place there, but it's not going to be enough to podium. Yeah, they're too far on the head. Okay, I'm going to give that one more try because I want to unlock more tracks in this area so we can explore. And if not, then we'll go and do a different track where I can hopefully test whether this start is related to the car or the location. So many big cars in this one. Tyrannosaurus Rex monster truck. Well, we'll need to be having a look at that at some point. Oh, absolute rubbish. I think this is quite a vertical environment as well. I guess it goes up a lot. So we seem to start very high up and then sort of work our way down through it. Ah yes, the Buns of Steel is a classic Hot Wheels car. Yep, okay, that's better. Let's not fall off the track. Try and be competent for a full 3-minute stretch. Nice. I think that was someone plummeting to their doom in front of us there. Let's make sure we're hitting the boosts on the way down this long straight. Let's try not to get Acme rocketed on the way through. That's better. Aim for the middle so we get all the boosts. Oh, no, I landed really badly there. That was one of those cases where the physics, just because I only landed on one wheel, just completely flipped me over. Same there, actually. Definitely have to try and adjust your roll and yaw a bit with the right stick as well on some of those jumps, which I've not been doing and I probably should start. So yeah, sort of front and back angle is on the left stick and rolling left and right is on the right stick. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's kind of understandable if you've played other types of games that have that kind of control scheme where you can roll your car about. Stay on the track, stay on the track. Good. Jump through the carrots. Go say hi to Bugs. Hello, you smug kid. Enjoy your carrots. There's a free birdseed sign. I've only just noticed that. So yes, this is definitely the Roadrunner section. Ooh, can't believe I got away with that. You'll have to remind me which one your is. I always get confused. Yes. Oh, better. Man, that track's fun, but it is tricksy. Oh, yes. So right stick is just for the roll of your car, I think. So left and right must be pitch and yaw, and then right stick is roll. Oh, timer taxi. Interesting. Yeah, we'll keep that. I mean, the next track's called the Kaboom, so we're going to have to try that one. Now, let's try taking the hot dog car and see if it's car or location that's doing the new different type of start. It could also be start piece, of course. Because that's a different looking start piece. Maybe it's because that's like a Hot Wheels launch start piece or something. We know it's not car, at least. Because this car did not have that type of start before. Because there are a bunch of different start pieces, like you can get the... Oh, there's Daffy. You can get like the car park start piece and stuff. Oh! That's magnet track, but only in certain bits of the track. I have not seen that before. Interesting. Oh no, we're going to be going around this top table now, aren't we? Yeah. Yep. Careful. Okay. This hot dog car is really good, but is very prone to rolling if we're not careful. It does allow us to store up a lot of boosts, which is a powerful ability. Man, there is a lot of different track types you go through in that little segment. Wait, Mr. Krabs, is that a SpongeBob car? I did not know there was, if there are. I don't know if that's a SpongeBob car or if there is just a Hot Wheels car that is crab themed. This is a long track if it's 3 laps. We haven't finished a lap yet. We're coming back here, I see. With 4 boosts, so let's use some of them up. And then immediately nearly roll it in the first corner. Classic. Past Daffy. Hey! Go away, Bond. Not getting beaten by a Bond. Even if you're one of the Bonds I kinda like. Man, this track is really hard to talk while you're racing on. Taking a lot of concentration to just figure out which direction I'm supposed to be pointing at any given time. I'm not really even managing that part of it. Avoid the flags! Oof. Yeah, using boosts in midair to get back on the track is a very useful technique. It's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Party Wagon as a car as well. Wow. There must be quite a few Turtles-related vehicles too. I wonder if Shredder's got one as well. Not Shredder, Splinter even. I know Shredder's got one, I've used that car. I wonder what a rat car would look like. Yeah! Okay, let's make sure we don't fall off this bit of track. Ooh. Get Let's not say things that I'm going to immediately do. That is bad for racing lines. Yeah, this track is tricksy. It is. I don't think it's as hard for me though as the ones where you go off track as much, because at least it's obvious where you're supposed to be going, even if I'm struggling to keep off the walls. Oh, there's Marvin. He's in the spaceship. I only just noticed that. Hey, buddy. It makes sense. That is your ship. I should have thought about that. No, stuffed it. That's distressing. Stuffing it at this later stage. Oh, come on, let's not get beaten by Robin's awful car. Oh no, this is the end as well. Stuff you, Robin. Oh. Disappointed only to get second in there, but my own fault. I got beaten by Harley Quinn. Ah yeah, that makes sense to be her car, doesn't it? Red and black. Split down the middle. Hey, it doesn't look like you get bonuses in this area for coming. Oh no, you do, yeah. In the top right, so it's not counted in the top right. Does that mean I didn't get the blind box? I did get the blind box, that's fine. And we've already got one of those. So in the fire, the cleansing fire with you. Alrighty. The next one is just a time trial. Which maybe we'll give a go to, because it looks like it'll be a relatively quick one. We'll go back to our super fast car. And then I might go have a quick look at the track editor after this race. To go see what the track editor's like, how it works and all that. Because I have been unlocking some pieces as we've been playing as well. Yeah, I think it's the start type. The start type, because that didn't give me that start type. The kind of the smashing one. Smashing A button one. And it was a very different looking type. So... oh, that's cute. You can go behind the scenes. Okay, where are we going? Wiggling into vents. Pretty sure every environment has vents of some sort. Oh yeah, where you have to hold down the boost option. I immediately hit a wall. Thanks, fans. You really helped there. .244 is what we're aiming for, okay. Should be a good corner for getting lots of boost on. Nice. I'm not going to use because I don't exactly know where we're going here. Yep. Around the tree. Okay, hopefully there's track down there. Yep, good. Oh. Thought I'd make it there. I was trying to be cheeky. Okay, split around that tree. Save up some boost to try and get through this section. Oh, stuff you. I don't think I am getting the good time. Yeah, the DLC tracks are not messing around in any of these environments. Okay, there's the track again, and I missed it immediately. It's a bit mean it didn't even reset me to the checkpoint I hit. Yeah, it's definitely when you go off the Hot Wheels track does the game start to get a little more jank. I'm nowhere near this time. Oh well. I'm at least getting better at the hairpins, so I'll take that to the bank. Alrighty, let's have a quick sort of wrap-up view, I think, of the track editor. See what that's like, see if we can build a track. Like a quick little track somewhere. So we'll go to track builder. So the environments that are in the game are basement, which is the one you can customize with all the stuff you unlock. Skate park, which we've seen. College campus that we've seen. Garage that we've seen. Skyscraper that we saw but not very much of. Just an empty track room. You can do what you like with. I don't think any of the basic tracks are in that. And then Batcave, Stop Motion Studio, which I don't like. And the Looney Tunes Adventure Park. And then it wraps back round. I think I want to do something in the college campus. So let's try with that area. The problem with the Stop Motion Studio is it keeps doing these off-road bits, and I just could not, for the life of me, figure out where the track was going, and all the walls were really fiddly. So there was lots of stuff you get caught on, and it felt like it didn't feel very right. Like you'd constantly like slightly overshoot a corner and get stuck on a wall and then have to reset, and it just felt really like unfun to play, honestly. Like there wasn't enough signposting about where you were supposed to go, and then when you messed it up, you got really badly punished. Okay, choose your track start point carefully. You won't be able to change it when you add other modules. Start point will determine whether your track will be a course or a circuit. Okay. Okay, so where can we go in the campus? We've obviously got this like central hall. Through here is our lecture room. Then we've got our big library room over here, and we have a sciencey room over here. Oh, and our vent, which I guess will connect the different rooms up there. Yeah. Let's go start over in the library. How do I go up? Ah, hold that button down to go up. Okay. Oh, ooh, there could possibly be. Yeah, let's do a thing where we. Let's rotate on that one. Oh, that wasn't how I meant to rotate it. Let's do a thing where we how do I? That one. Let's do a thing. He keeps trying to say off the top of these bookcases. It's not allowing me to put there, so maybe I have to go a bit higher. There we go. And there's a snap button, which just plonks us down to the ground. That's good. So let's, start there, I think. Okay, you're about to create the body of your track using construction mode. After you position the start, always keep an eye on the cost of each module. You transform most modules using the commands at the top right. Okay. So we have, obviously, make it go longer, make go curvy, modify the ends. So that's if you want to do like S's and whatnot. Okay. And then we have replicate, rotate, and snap. Oh, okay. We probably don't want to do that. I'm pretty sure the cars will fall off immediately. But that's also how we do up and down as well on that one. Okay, cool. And then we also have transformation smooth, linear, easy in, easy out, and reverse central automatic. I guess that's how the rotations work as well. Okay, that's cool. Well, I guess we can just start off with... We can just start off with a bit of straight track. And then there's these other types of modules we can use that aren't unlocked yet. And other categories we can't use just yet. What's the customization? Okay, so that's where we change the track color. And we can also specify whether or not there's walls as well on each side. Or extra barriers or little floodlights. Okay. I think that's when you have it on automatic, Dan. But once we get out of the tutorial, we will figure that out. Fine. This bit can have no walls. And we want to go back to end customization and we want to make it a bit smaller. Interactive objects mode, you can place objects on your track which affect your vehicle's behavior. The boost trigger, for example, boosts your vehicle to maximum speed. Okay, so yeah, then what we can do is if we put a boosty thing here, special animated modules. So we can have the spider, the snake module that we've seen, the rolling boulders module, interesting, the dino pult. Well, I have no idea what that does, but clearly we're going to add that somewhere. Spinning tire, booster slam. Ha! Amazing. The smashing rocks we've seen. The jumping towers. What's that? Oh, I wonder if those towers come up and hit you. Gorilla garage? Zero gravity checkpoint. Okay. The Acme rockets that we've seen. Shark jaws. The super dealership. Again, whatever that is. And the split bridge. Angry dragon. Joker's funhouse. So it obviously wants us to put the spider. I'll put the finish line so it will stop tutorializing us and then we'll go fiddle with it. Okay, so how do I now... Yes, we go to validation. Let's make sure our track is finishable. I see we have to do it in a little tractor. Ooh, our track is finishable. So hopefully that means it will stop tutorializing us. Awesome. No. What I want to do is I want to go back and delete half of this. I'd assume that's the worst car, yeah. Like, how do I not? I want to delete this. I'll delete that. Cool. Yeah, I assume that's basically the car for, like, if it's completable with this, it's completable with everything. Let's do a cheeky little jump. Although now we've got the other track types. That track type is one that has this ramp down. That's for when we just want to go on the environment, I guess. And then we have checkpoints, loops. What's in special? Magnetic loops. That's where the fans live. Oh, a tunnel. Oh, I've not seen the tunnel. Fun. Splits, invisible splits with cones, timed splits, and then our animated ones, and then our finish. Oh, that's quite the finish line, isn't it? What I want to do is I just want to do a really basic. Shrink that down, do a little rampy thing, and just see if this is now, if we can make it to the other side just off this little rampy thing. Yeah, that's good enough. Back to the track builder. We can probably, now I suppose what we do is we do the invisible module. Oh, I see. Yeah, so you probably then use these invisible modules to then specify where you're supposed to jump, so it will work for the minimap. So you can do that, and then pull that back, pull that up, guess we've done a bit too much on the previous one. So if I delete that, pull that up a bit. I just want to make it shorter. Oh, I am making it shorter. Cool. And then I can hopefully pull this back up, pull this up. There we go. We can snap that to the ground, and then I can go back to normal track. Yeah, like that. Okay, cool. But we want the normal track to go on a bit further, so we can then do a nice curve around here. And then we probably want to stick a checkpoint in. And let's just test that track from there. Okay, so yeah, it seems like it's relatively powerful for doing stuff like the jumps. Yeah, so the invisible track's now appearing as the hashed, like, dash track. That's cool. Okay, so if we go back to the track builder, then obviously we want to do a little bit where we're now going to go around the top of the bookshelves. So we can use the cone type for that. We'll probably put in some obstacles to make people go out the way around there. Then we can do the cones over this way. And then have maybe a check. Oh, we need a bit more cone. Which one's delete on? I imagine this, once you figure out where all the shortcuts are, will get super quick actually. Because that I still want it to be cone. But shorter cone. So we can then stick a cone. Can we? Oh, we can't quite fit a cone checkpoint in there. So we want to make that come out just a smidge more. I'm not sure why you can't put the checkpoint on the other side of the track. That feels like that would be useful. We can't, so that means I just need to have this come out a bit more. And we'll wiggle that in a bit like that. Yeah, what I mean is, I'm surprised that you can't like swap it so the checkpoint banner is on the left side of the track so it wouldn't clip into the wall. We can put this type of checkpoint down. We can have a bit more cone track. Go around this corner. Oh, got overdone that a little bit. Might be something to do with the fact that, like, to help people know what direction the track's going in or something. Who knows? There's normally a reason. And then we're going to go back to normal track from here. I think I just did invisible track. Where's normal track? Yeah, normal track from here. So we're going to give it a bit more of this type of track. So people have a bit more time from the corner. Then we're going to go back to normal track. And I think we'll do another cheeky little jump. Oh, that was the wrong one. We'll do another cheeky little jump. Up like that. We're going to test to see where that ends up. And then we'll cap off the little track there with a fun little finish. That's nice. We can do a nice thing there. Slide around here, get that checkpoint. A little fight over here. Totally mess up getting back on that track. And we'll see how far we can jump when we come off here. Yeah, with some boosts we can make it to that other bookcase, which is perfect. So that means we go back to invisible track. Put the end down like that. We move the end out a bit. We do snap. Oh, that's nice that the snap changes the arc as well. That's very clever. Then we want to go back to normal track here. I don't know, Dan. That's a good question. Then what I want to do is we want to do normal track. Then I want to do like curved track, like a bit of banking. Because then I want to kind of do a dive down. See how that sort of works. And then I want to flatten that out. Not quite yet, actually. I want to make the dive go a bit further. Yeah, that means I need to go back actually to this one. Make this one further and come out more perfect, and then tilt some more. Then we can keep the tilt going down. Then snap that. We'll need to make that maybe come up a bit at the end. Lovely. Then let's see what finishes we have. Just maybe do a normal finish down at the bottom. Let's validate that track, see how that goes. The thing about the checkpoints is you don't seem to reset to the checkpoint necessarily when you crash. I think the checkpoints are just to make sure you have to hit all the checkpoints before you finish the race. Because there was a case where I didn't reset back to a checkpoint, I reset back further. So I wonder if it's just a certain distance back it resets. Ooh. Man, that dive curve has come out surprisingly smooth. Okay, cool. So now I just need to sprinkle some things on the track. And that will be a good, like, first track, I think. How do we do this? Okay, so that's going to be really slow if we do it that way. But I think if we do modify, we can then use up and down. Here we go. Use up and down on the D-pad. So I want to go back over here. And I want to put in interactive objects. So you have simple, which are the barriers. Oh, you can't put barriers when you're not on the Hot Wheels track. Okay. And complex, which appear to be like these things, which again, you can't put when you're not on the Hot Wheels track. Okay. So in which case I need to modify, go back up to some Hot Wheels track up here. And I want to put down a couple of boosts. Or like a boost here for this one. Boost here for that one. It seems like there's area of effects, which is fine. Then, if we go back to modify, skip ahead, it's probably a good idea to put on some magnetic track here. So I can just put that down, but I don't just want to put that down. How do I now? Ah, you can select it and then stretch and shorten it. Oh, that's very smooth. Oh, and there is a navigation speed option. Oh, but I'm at fastest. Okay, so we can put like a magnetic track going right the way down if we wanted to. Now that's its maximum length by the look of it. So we can place that down. Okay, that's a quite nice way of doing it, actually. They can use the track splines to figure that out. And then it might be fun to then put down on this side a boost track going all the way. Yeah, that's a very nice way that they've done that. I'm doing all this, by the way, on the controller as well. So if you get this on console, you can still do all the track editing stuff on console, which is not always a guarantee in these types of games. So the fact that they've set it up so you can is quite nice. It kind of broadly makes sense to me so far. Let's respawn. In fact, let's resume. Oh yeah, I think you do. Look, you are validating the different sections of the track on the right between the different checkpoints. I think that's what the thing up the left means. Oh, the right even. I did badly. Okay, and then we can get on the boosty boost down there. Nice. Thank you. Yeah, why don't we save it? Name. This is a bad track. Oh. This is bad. Part 1. Part 1. That bit I did do on the keyboard. Would you... No, I don't want to share it. Not yet. Can I now just test that, but with a different car? Yes! Lovely. Let's try testing it with our fast car and see if it still works. Oh, that's pretty quick to load in the new car as well. That's nice. I rolled it, but we're still good. Yeah, definitely want to be able to put some stuff over here. Okay. Oh, that is a very satisfying dive curve to go along. Nice. Alright, well, so yeah. That's the track editor. It's surprisingly good, honestly. Now, it didn't take us very much time at all to make a little track here where we've gone across. We've done jumps, we've done like going off the track, we've done some sort of tilting curves and stuff. I think, incidentally, by the way, Dan, well, that's when, if I go to like the modify, you can see that you've got that roll offset. I think when it's on automatic, it's center by default, but then it tries to make sure you don't clip. So I think it swaps to try and not clip into things if it can. I want to not use that though. Let's try not to do the modify on that because it seems to break everything when you modify it in situ. Yeah, it's surprisingly good. What I might do is I might just go to the end, select the end, delete the end. I kind of want to put some more. I'll put some more track in. Maybe what we'll do is if we snap that. I think we need to go back to construction mode. There we go. Snap that, and then we'll go to floor mode. We'll do a little wiggle through the cases. Around here. Then go back to this type of track. Then do a horrifically tight hairpin round here. See if we can feed it back through the wheels of here. Beautiful. And then have something that goes back up. Oh, I guess this might actually be a place where we can fit a loop in. Not quite yet. We're still hitting that. Okay, so we can go up a bit more. Then see if we can fit the loop in. Lovely. And then we don't want another loop. We want to tilt and change the end of that. Yeah, the only slightly fiddly thing is the camera, because it's where it's centering to is a bit weird. Then we want to have it, so we maybe go through. That is a horrible piece of track. Can I make that snap? Yeah, let's see if that works. And then make that dive. Do a little bit more track there. Let's probably need to stick a checkpoint in. Put that back. Make that dive down a little. Give it a little tilty tilt. Snap that flat again. Yeah, snap that flat. Oh, we can't quite snap that. But we'll do that. Snap that flat. Yeah, snapping to that table. We're going to go back and we should change that to magnet track, actually. Stick with some magnet track, because I'm about to do some horrific barrel rolly stuff. No, now the question is, how do I make it go? How do I make it go that way? Right, that's where I wanted to do, the way I wanted to do it. I'll make this bigger, and we want to make it go up. Yes, this definitely gets a bit more confusing when you're around the wrong axes for this. Then I want to make that flatten out, go up, and more this way. Because I want to get into that vent. So I wonder if now if I just make this long enough and go up, can I then snap it into the vent? Not quite by the look of it, but if I give that a bit more of a turn, then snap that into the vent. Lovely. Then we'll do some basic through here. Then back down to this type. Probably need to go up to this type. Doing this on a corner is going to be way too mean thinking on it, so let's not do that. Which means we need to change in here to the normal type. Have that dive down when we get out of here if we can. Well, that's gone a bit more than I was intending. We can do a bit of a dive down like that. Then what I want is be able to fit that finish line in. Which means I guess we need to flatten out this end. There we go. Now, we definitely haven't put enough checkpoints in this, but let's see if this still works. And I can see the tip of the loop on our left. That's fun. Okay, so we go around here. This jump. This route that we've done before. Then we get on the floor. We have this. Turn around here. Oh. That's probably where we want to put some fans. You do unlock track parts in the main game, yes. You unlock kind of different... I think the split with the flipper we unlocked when we did the track that had that. Oh boy! Okay, so magnet does not keep you magnetized guaranteed. It just helps. Yeah, okay, so doing that type of turn is a very bad idea. Good to know. Then we jump very badly into the volcano's mouth in this track that is now basically terrible. Ah, lava! Oh, they're vents that push you. I see. You really should be drifting up here. Oh, they really push you, actually. Ah! Oh, I see, and then you erupt out the top. Cool. Yeah, I mean, technically I validated the track, but it is terrible. The name is now very appropriate. Let's not share that. People don't deserve that. But let's try testing it. Let's try testing it with a decent car. Oh, I remembered my car for tests. That's cool. Let's see how bad it is with this actual proper car that people might race on it. And then we might wrap it up there. As I'm doing this, yeah, if you are interested in this, if you want to pick this up, do not buy the normal edition. It's absolutely a bad investment right now. Now they've got the Game of the Year edition. Again, nobody said this was Game of the Year, but now they've got the badly titled Game of the Year edition. I picked this up for like 20 quid when it was in the last sale. Depending when you're watching this, obviously a Steam sale is likely to be a couple of months away. If you're watching this recently, when it came out, in the kind of mid-November-ish, the autumn or winter Steam sales coming out pretty soon. So I'd stick it on a wish list and get it when it's like 20 quid or something. It's definitely worth that. I'm glad to hear it, Dan. It does have split screen, and it does have online multiplayer. Although the online multiplayer doesn't seem to be great if you want to play it with friends. I've got into matches with randoms, and it works surprisingly well. And you can do private lobbies now, but I don't think you can do AI in the private lobbies from what I've heard. But I've not tried it. But I'll definitely be keeping this around because I want to finish the single player because I'm really enjoying the racing. But also, I think it'll be a fun split screen game. Like, I think this will be a blast with kind of 4 players playing split screen in that kind of Mario Kart Micro Machines-esque mould. What, this track actually is not so bad if you pay attention to the corners you're going to get knocked off. Not so keen on the ending part. I might just change that ending part. But yeah. No, I don't need to save the track again. I'm going to go and remember to turn back on the music. Now we're out of the potentially copyright striking music. But yeah. Thanks for joining. That has been, goodness, about 3 hours of Hot Wheels Unleashed today. And we've had a look at main game, a bunch of the DLCs and the track editor. I kind of think I'll probably end up playing more of the track editor. I really enjoy it. Oh, thanks very much for the follow, Dan. As for next streams, myself and Joe will be playing doing a bonus buddy stream on Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock or 7:30, I think. And we are playing a game that I need to remember the name of. And we're going to be playing it a day before it comes out, if we can get the keys from the developer. And I'm feeling really bad that I can't remember what the game's called, so I'm just scrolling back through my Mastodon to see what the game is called. Unsolved Case. It's a 2-player co-op puzzle game that looks really cute. And I had a chat to the developer on Mastodon. It's by 11 Puzzles and seems to be a prequel to a bunch of their other puzzle games. So if you like the prequel, we're likely to play through all of them as well. Bonus stream indeed. I'm not sure what I'm going to be playing next Sunday. I'll probably put our vote out. I think if I don't do another version of Taiji soon, certain people will kill me. Good to know, Dan. Yeah. And as always, feel free to follow me on Twitter, or if Twitter doesn't exist by the time you watch this, fingers crossed. I'm also on Mastodon. On one of the Mastodon servers. The one that itch.io went on. What's that? GameDev.place. So feel free to follow me on either of those. Until then, thanks very much for joining us. Good to see you as well, Dan. I hope you're doing well generally. Good to see you as well, Scotty. And have a good rest of your Sunday. And I will see you again soonish. I'm going to go and buy a grotesque takeout now. I hope you do the same. Take care, all. You too, Dan.